Hi, I'm Wendy Ibe. I'm the manager of the Pemberton Northcliffe Visitor Centres. I've been living in this region for about 18 years now. I moved here from Queensland and absolutely fell in love with the Karri forests. This is true old growth forest through here. You won't find a prettier patch of forest anywhere. It's absolutely beautiful. Got beautiful big old trees that average around 300 years old through this area. This is the Warren River. We're downstream of where we were at the Cascades the other day. We're probably about 14 kilometres or so away from the coast here. The Warren is a very ancient river. Over the years it's become very shallow, very narrow. All the land around it has eroded away and filled the water up, filled the riverbed up. Got a little bit of exposed granite here. This is the Heartbreak Crossing. One of the very few places where you can actually cross the river. There's a little heron on the other side over there. So upstream, this river does have a few salinity problems. By the time it enters the lower reaches here, we do get enough rainfall to dilute the salinity down, so we don't tend to have so much problems down here in the lower reaches. Good home for marron, the freshwater crayfish.
And what about the rock?
That's granite, which is around the 1.2 billion year old mark again. So this was all part of that area that was melted down and reformed. You can hear the Geocrinia lei ticking away in the background as well. The frogs are loving this rain. We're here in Warren National Park. This is the Heartbreak Trail, which brings you down through the river valley, through the old growth Karri forest. Really beautiful patch of forest. It's never been logged in the past. The Warren River here, there's quite a few campsites along the edge of the river as well as picnic areas. Really lovely tranquil place to come and just sit for a while. You hear there's lots of frogs calling in the background. And this time of year, over the autumn and winter periods, we do get lots of different fungi species to look for. Being old growth forest, there's a huge variety of them that you can find. These honky nuts are what we get off the other gum nuts off the marri trees, the Corymbia calophylla. If you have a look at them, you can usually check out what's been feeding on them. These ones have been ripped open by black cockatoos. We have 3 species of black cockatoos here in the southwest. All 3 are on the endangered species list. If there's just a bit of nibbling around the top here, it's often been the 28s or the red cap parrots that have been feeding on them. Yeah, when the bases have been ripped out like this, you know it's the black cockatoos. As we come through here, you can see there's a lot of fuel and leaf litter on the ground underneath the big carry trees. They shed their bark every year. All the trees drop a lot of leaves and everything every year as well. Prior to European settlement, there would have been a lot of little mammals living in the forest here that would have been digging for fungi and termites and things like that, and actually turning the soil over and burying all that leaf litter. That doesn't happen so much anymore with the introduction of all the feral animals. We don't tend to have too many native mammals left anymore in these areas, so we have a risk of fire these days. If a fire starts in this kind of forest, because there's so much fuel built up on the ground, it can become uncontrollable rapidly. So Parks and Wildlife do control or prescribe burning when they can throughout the region. This area here hasn't been burnt for a very long time. The more disturbed areas that have been logged in the past, they do burn a lot more frequently, trying to protect areas like this. But it has been quite contentious, the fires down through here, because when they do a prescribed burn, it's usually quite a large area all in one go. And it would be preferable if they could just burn the small patches here and there. But that's basically a bit hard to do when you don't have the staffing or the road infrastructure or anything anymore to be able to keep it, control it in a small area. We're back out on Old Bass Road, the old convict built road. The screen's fogging up again.
Convict built road?
Yes. This is the old road through the region, Old Bass Road. Ran from Brockman's property, they were the original settlers in this area, out to the town of Vass over near Bustleton, where the rest of their family were. And the Brockmans were able to get hold of some convict labour right before the use of convict labour was banned, to help build this road all the way through. So you'll still see segments of Old Vass Road here and there, but most of it's been replaced by major highways now. You can imagine it was a nice little goat track back in the early days, so just wide enough for a horse and cart to get through. It would have been such a pretty patch of forest to be riding through.